All right. Well, this is our very first podcast.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I'm Sid.
I'm Greg.
And we're going to try to do this once every week. We're just going to talk about whatever the fuck we want to feel like.
Yeah, and hopefully you guys like it. Yeah.
So, I don't know about you, man. I'm pretty pumped about this.
Yeah, I guess so. in the sense that I wanted to try something new, so I guess we're gonna get ahead of ourselves by doing something new.
All right. So of course, it's a brand new year, 2013.
Yeah.
Of course, how we're gonna start podcast is not because. What we're gonna start with is the top of 2012,
which is 3 weeks late, but we don't give a shit.
All right. So, you want to start out now? So what do you think we should start off? What genre?
I'm gonna
movie, music.
Let's go with movies.
Movies.
Okay.
All right. Well, have you seen any? What was the last movie you saw?
The last movie I saw was Total Recall.
Total Recall.
Yeah. Ironically, Total Recall. Did you see Total Recall?
No, I didn't even see it.
What did you see actually?
The last movie I saw?
Yeah.
Last movie I saw was Batman. The Dark Knight Rises.
Well, good, like 5 times in a row, I guess.
3 times in a row. But hey, after the second time I watched it, I was like, it was pretty good. Third time, I was just like, I just want to walk out of the theater. I can't take this anymore.
Really?
Yeah. Cause it's almost 2 fucking hours. I almost wasted 6 hours of my life watching the same 2 hours. Three times.
It takes you like the 7th hour to realize, oh, this is not productive.
So yeah, I don't know. Well, did you see Looper?
I didn't see it.
You see Looper?
I assume like he had to kill himself. I seen the trailer.
That's all I know from the trailer.
You ever see movies where like you just watch the trailer and you know what's gonna happen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sanctuary.
Sanctuary? Oh, is that one with the caves or some shit?
Yeah. Oh, we found dinosaurs. Let's get out of here.
Was there dinosaurs?
Oh,
in
was
that?
that? Oh no, I'm thinking of To the Center of the Earth. Whoops.
Oh.
What's Sanctuary about? All I know is that there were caves and they're going down.
Yeah. I don't
fucking know.
Didn't that James Cameron guy? Didn't he like he's built like he went to like the bottom of or like the very bottom of the ocean that we know of so far with like a submarine or something?
Really?
Yeah. Like it was maybe like 6 months ago.
Holy shit! Wow, he's dedicated.
No, he's rich. Yeah.
Yeah. If we do top movies, it's gonna be so limited. But
to be honest, because we're both like university students. We don't get to watch a lot of movies.
Getting our dicks sucked. We can't do it. We can't do everything at once.
You know. Can't multitask. You know. Got time management on our hands. But when I was actually really excited for Argo. I seen that like maybe the same. I think
Argo seemed interesting, but it seemed like once you watched it, you would be like, this is like total fucking shit.
Yeah.
Was it that way?
No, it wasn't that. It was just like it wasn't as epic as I thought it would be. Mm-hmm. Like, you ever see like what was that movie with Matt Damon? Do you know like Green Zone or something? Is that what it's called?
The Green Zone.
Yeah, Green Zone.
No.
When I don't know, something like. Honestly,
Green Mile?
It was like freaking like generic as shit. It was like, oh, we have to take
Matt
down
Damon in superhero.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, he's not a superhero.
He was like, oh, we have to kill terrorists and shit.
Yeah.
And then like, yeah, he was trying to kill terrorists, but at the same time he was just like, oh, we're gonna put in backstory about my character. And when I was going into that thinking like, okay, this is gonna be like. And I actually enjoyed it, like that was Green Mile. Let's say Green Mile. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
But like, I actually enjoyed that Matt Damon movie, right? So I was going in there like thinking that it's gonna be something like that, right, for Argo.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't completely. It's basically a movie about, and I'm sure like all of our viewers have seen this already. So like, I'm just gonna reiterate for people that are busy.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So.
All right.
And. Basically, who the hell? Ben Affleck, right?
Yeah, Matt Damon.
He's the director of the movie, right?
Uh-huh.
And in the movie, he plays a guy that's a producer of a fake movie. Then they're supposed to like, with that fake movie, they're supposed to infiltrate like, I think it was like Iran, and they're supposed to get people from the American embassy, and that they were like held hostage, and then bring them back, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I thought it was like, okay, this is gonna be like something like epic. Like, I think like the same week I watched Dark Knight, right? So I was like, okay, shit's gonna be epic, right? It wasn't that epic. I don't know.
No?
It just felt short-lived.
Yeah.
Did you see any movies that I don't know, felt
short-lived, that didn't live
like,
up to it?
Yeah.
What they were trying to present?
Yeah.
Not really. The last 3 movies I saw were Avengers, Batman, and Prometheus. And I think all were great. A lot of people were bitching over Prometheus. You remember that?
Yeah.
They were complaining about
you wasted $10.
they were complaining about there were so many unanswered questions. And then, like, you know, we went with a bunch of friends and
with like the super vagina, right?
Yeah, and pretty much we tried to figure out everything else, and in our mind everything clicked. Like, it just worked.
Yeah.
But everyone else was just like, no, you have to tell us what. I can't live without you telling me, man.
Yeah.
And it's just like
it was like Inception, right? How like people were like, oh, I need an answer for this. No, you don't really. You just think about it.
I don't know.
And
I think I don't know. Inception was great in that everything you saw was up to your imagination. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Even the ending. Well, let's say. Is it just? I think it's just the ending, actually. So what am I saying?
Yeah.
Do you think at the end he actually awoke, or he was still trapped in limbo?
To be honest, I have not watched the movie, but
what?
Yeah. Well, like I like watched like the first 2 hours I watched, and then I was
the first 2.
It was on TV.
The
okay?
movie is.
I got shit to do, Sydney.
What the fuck? The fuck?
I got shit to do. It felt like 2 hours, okay? I got to the part where like fucking shit bends and shit, like Avatar, and then yeah, that's where I got.
I think I say that he actually is still stuck in limbo because I remember researching it. They brought up a lot of points. It was talking about you know, when he went back to the airport, his dad was there, and I don't know if this is a valid point or not. Everyone's like, where the fuck did his dad come from? Why is he there, right? Mm-hmm. Another point was when he went to go get his kids were wearing the exact same thing. Everything looks exactly the same.
Yeah.
And to me, I think that's proof enough that he's still in his dream. Because I don't know, but for me, I could tell when he spun the top, right?
Yeah.
And you know how they purposely cut out so you don't figure it out?
Yeah.
It was obvious.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean? And everyone's like, "Why'd they do it? Did they run out of film?" And it's like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
Who thought they ran out of film? What does that even mean?
I don't know. They're like, "Oh, Hollywood's not what it used to be."
No, oh man, ain't what it used to be.
So yeah, well, what is your movie that you watched? Top movie that you watched this year?
Top movie that I've watched.
Yeah.
I want to say Avengers, just because like. And it didn't live up to the hype, not at all, right? But like, how could it, right? Mm-hmm. It was like hyped beyond belief. But I want to say Avengers, and like I know like, did you even watch the Golden Globes? I didn't watch.
No,
I don't know.
Fuck the Golden Globes.
To be honest, I don't give a shit who wins the award. Okay, like it's not gonna help me in my future. Okay, so like, but yeah, I'm gonna say Avengers.
I think for me.
I want to say Spider-Man, but that...
Spider-Man? The fuck?
I wanted to say Spider-Man just because it's Spider-Man. But, like I'm a
in
huge...
the shitty-ass movie.
It was so horrible. Like, he was like, oh, I'm a skater now, and like...
I'm a punk.
Oh, this follows much more deeply into the comic book series. It's such horrible writing. Do you remember when Aunt May was talking about eggs? Like, for, like, half the movie.
Yeah. And it's like, did you get the eggs? Eggs, bitch. I was fighting crime.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. Yeah, I think for me, my top movie would have to be...
Her lines were horrible enough. Peter, did you get the eggs?
I think, yeah, probably...
Oh, Uncle Ben's dead.
Probably Avengers because, you know, there were so many movies that led up to the Avengers. How many movies were there? So there's one, The Incredible Hulk, 2 movies from Iron Man.
I didn't, to be honest, I didn't give a shit about like those other 2 movies, like Thor and Captain America.
Yeah, there was one Incredible Hulk, 2 Iron Mans, 1 Thor, 1 Captain America. Was there a what's that arrow bitch name?
Hawkeye.
Was there a Hawkeye and a Black Widow, whatever the fuck her name is?
Black Guy.
Black Guy. Is there a movie based on them?
Black Guy and Hawk Widow.
Black Widow was in Iron Man. Yeah. That's her name.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think our picks is probably the Avengers, just because.
Yeah, and I haven't seen.
Did it live
up? To be honest, I don't even want to say it, just because I haven't watched it the second time, and like I knew this, and the pacing was good too. So I don't know what was that.
I think. Well, do you think that it lived up to its name?
Lived up to its.
Lived up to all the hype.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I say it well. I think they did it well. A lot of laughs.
Yeah. To me,
it just made me laugh.
I don't believe in the hype either,
Yeah.
but like.
I don't know. It's hard to watch movies when all the hype is so huge. Then you come in expecting everything, and then from there, it's either it was good, but it will never get better. It's either it stays the same, or it just falls down into hell, and it's just like, wow, this is really bad.
I don't know. I just don't put reliance on like hype at all. Like, like I don't know. Is it just the trailer? To be honest,
no. It's more than just a trailer. I mean, like, all the celebrities, like, yeah, you gotta watch it, and, like, all the interviews, and just, like, wow. And, of course, IGN and a bunch of other reviewers are just like, yeah, this is great, man. I love this, right?
What is up with do they get paid? I assume they get paid.
Well, of course.
By, like,
no,
but do like, industries like IGN and, like, game reviews and, stuff like that, do they get paid for endorsing those movies, those productions? Do they get paid by like the production?
I'd have to say yes.
Is like Warner Brothers just like, oh, here's like, slips it under the table, you know what I mean?
No, I'm pretty sure it's an agreement. I mean, like, what's the point of keeping it secret, right? Because I'm pretty sure if a celebrity was in a movie, everyone would know that they're trying to bring it out, right? Trying to have as many people watch it. So there's no point in putting it under the table. There's no point in trying to like turn an eye to that, right?
Yeah, but isn't that BS when you think about it? Like,
is it?
Like, even like IGN, they'll put
it's the same with campaigning, dude. Essentially, right?
Yeah, but like you don't see like the White House campaigning for a presidential elect. It's the same thing, right? It's it's not like the output is saying like, it's not like IGN shouldn't be in a position where they're telling people you have to buy this when they're reviewers themselves, and they have to take an honest opinion at it, and they can't just go the opposite direction and be like, nope, I'm not gonna be honest at all, I just want the money.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Well, what are you gonna do? Everyone is like, oh, if I get $10 just to like drink this glass of milk, I'll fucking do it. They're not really losing anything. Essentially, it's all win-win. It's essentially win-win, right?
But people hear about this and they lose their integrity, don't they?
I guess.
Would you say that? To be honest, I don't even go on review sites anymore. Like I've
never gone on them.
Yeah, I've just like if I'm gonna be spending the money, then who's on? Is somebody is it? I assume it's Eric Siergos.
I have no fucking idea.
Sidney, talk to us, Sidney.
Anyways.
Yeah.
So let's just end off the top with the movie Avengers, all right?
Yeah.
Now let's move on to something more uppity. Best video game, 2012.
Best video game, shit. Nobody's gonna agree with me, but I don't even want to say it. It's not Assassin's Creed 3, right?
No,
it's not.
No.
And I think, to be honest, it is Dishonored.
Like Dishonored, really?
Yeah.
It was pretty cool, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, who made it? Bethesda?
Was it? I don't know, actually.
Yeah, let's go with Bethesda. they seem like they're up on their shit.
Mm-hmm.
So the overall concept of it, and finally we have something that's like not a sequel. That's like innovative.
Yeah, it's true.
Even like I was telling you about this before, but like Nintendo's not doing shit. Like they haven't made. Look, they released the GameCube, they released the Wii, they released the Wii U. There's no... Maybe they released Pikmin. That was, like, the only, like...
Who gives a shit about Pikmin?
Pikmin. You know what I mean? That's the only real thing.
Yeah.
That they've released new.
So, you're going with Dishonored, really? Did you even play it?
No.
No, it's just like it just looks good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Dishonored. They did talk about in Dishonored where whatever you it's it's that type of thing where whatever you do has actions like Mass Effect, but in the end, what you want to do is you want to save the city, right?
I love that game mechanic, by the way.
Yeah, it's yeah, it's great. Because
I forgot my pants.
one of the mechanics is that they the more people you kill, the shittier the city actually becomes visually, and at the end of the movie, you'll see it, right? But if you just go and do like sleeper holds or whatever, or just choke them out, the city gets better at the end, and you see it actually gradually get better. So I thought that was pretty cool, bit by bit. That
It seems like that Wii game where you color stuff in, and you make the city nice and
crayons,
For crayons.
crayons,
I don't
color
think
shit in with crayons.
I don't think that. Oh, it was like the Blob or something.
Oh, D Blob.
That what it was called?
I think so.
Blob.
I know what you're talking about. There's like square shaped people just jumping around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Did you play A Boy in His Blob?
No.
It should have been an indie game, and it was actually really good. It's underrated. You should play it.
I've seen it. It's pretty good. Transforming the ladders and shit.
Yeah.
It isn't like that. Yeah, I think what did LA Noire come out in 2012?
No, I don't think so. No.
No?
I don't know. I got it in 2012. I'll tell you that much.
I think for me,
I haven't finished it yet.
did Uncharted come out in 2012? Uncharted 3?
I don't know. I don't know. Sydney. I don't give a shit.
I think.
Fuck your video games, Sydney.
I think for me, it probably will be Uncharted 3.
Uncharted 3?
Because I remember my first Uncharted game was Uncharted 2, and it was like ridiculously good. The story was the story was good.
Well.
Gameplay was good. Everything about it was good. It had like the overall package essentially,
Mm-hmm.
and I fucked everyone up in multiplayer because they suck so much dick. That was fun. But yeah, I think my pick, if Uncharted 3 came out in 2012, I'd have to go with Uncharted 3. If it didn't come out in 2012, I'm gonna fucking go with Assassin's Creed because that's my franchise. I like that shit. What's your favorite video game of all time?
Franchise or just?
Let's go with both. So let's go with franchise first. Your first franchise. Favorite video game franchise.
To be honest, all I play is sports games. Like now, all I play is sports games. Before I used to play like Pokemon, obviously, like crazy. And when I was playing, like I remember, didn't they release like when did they release Pokemon Black and White 2? But like I just felt. Yeah, I just released. I just like didn't give a shit anymore.
Yeah.
So, did you see the new Pokemon, by the way?
You told me about it. X,
Yeah.
Y, Z or something.
Yeah. Did you see them?
No.
I don't know. The grass type looks like.
They're all just getting futuristic, aren't they? They're all turning into Tron.
Yeah, it's like
essentially.
glossy and stuff.
Yeah.
The only thing I can remember is like there was like a toad or something, and there was like a chipmunk, but it was like a green chipmunk. It was so bad.
Yeah.
But the only thing like people care about is that fire type, and like everybody's raging about like how like the last few games is like firefighting type, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, so overpowered.
What about your favorite video game?
Video game, all time.
All time.
You're gonna have to go with Urban Rain.
Right.
Yeah, like
I'm pretty sure
everyone
known
game.
Yeah, nobody will know.
Nobody will know.
Anybody listening will probably not know what the fuck that is.
Yeah.
Search it up. It is Urban Rain. Urban and then Rain is REIGN.
Yeah, like a Royal Rain.
And dude, it is the best fucking game ever. It's essentially 3D Tekken.
Yeah, it is.
With like 2+ people at the same time.
Yeah, and there's like weapons. You can walk on walls.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy.
It is the hardest fucking game to play on hard.
Yeah.
It is almost impossible.
And there's like a cheat code where you can play on co-op and
yeah,
the camera angle wouldn't work like properly.
Yeah, fuck that shit.
Yeah.
They didn't even split screen, but yeah, that's understandable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think for me, my favorite video game franchise would probably be Halo.
Halo?
I grew up with Halo, and I don't know, it's been with me since then. And I think most people would say Call of Duty is the best first-person shooter they ever played. For me, it's Halo.
Who is saying this?
Everyone.
10 years old?
All the
10-year-olds?
10-years-olds. All the 10-years-olds.
Oh, shit.
And for me, it has to be Halo because I grew up with it. I played it when I was young, which is probably bad because it's rated M for mature.
Who cares?
Who cares? But my favorite video game.
Killing aliens is fun.
My favorite video game, I'd have to say, is Final Fantasy X, because that game is unparalleled. To me.
When did that come out? PS2?
2004 maybe.
So
maybe even earlier or later actually.
Yeah.
Because the voice acting was good. They fit the voices perfectly, honestly. Because if you try to imagine what they look like in real life, it would still sort of fit if you saw them in real life. The gameplay, it was the same turn-based shit, but it just worked well. There wasn't really anything clunky. Although that whoever listens to this will know the fight with Unalesca is like a 3-part fight, and she's like the most overpowered character, and she'll like fuck you up, man. No joke.
You know what I don't understand about those boss fights is like the more you beat the crap out of them, the stronger they get. It's like how does that even work? Like if you beat the shit out of somebody, right?
It's a mechanic.
They're not gonna get stronger.
Mm-hmm.
They're not gonna grow 5 arms and spit fire all of a sudden.
Maybe.
Maybe. Huh. I don't try.
Yeah. My favorite video game all time, Final Fantasy X, and they actually had a HD remake on the PS3, but I had to pay for that shit. I still have to pay for it. I'll get it, but I don't know if I want to.
What is it, like $15 or something?
I really don't know. Probably maybe $20 even. But I just love that game.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on from video games. What would you say? I'm pretty sure this is going to be obvious to both of us and to everyone out there.
Yeah.
The number 1 song of 2012.
Oh, well, yeah. I'm not even going to say it.
Say it.
I'm not going to say it.
Say it, bitch.
I'm not going to say it.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure everyone knows.
Yeah.
Well, we don't have to say it.
We're not going to say it, okay?
Let's just say it's also tied.
We're not your puppets.
Let's just say it's also tied with the best music video. The most watched video, probably.
Well, most watched, but not
how many
best.
views it had? Yesterday I checked on it. 1.2.
Yesterday I checked on it.
I checked on it, man.
I had to make sure it wasn't running away. It's like a dead pet. Are you still alive? Yeah.
I had to make sure it wasn't running away, man. Yeah. 1.2 billion. Holy shit. And the
1.2 billion?
1.2 billion. And the most I ever saw maybe 2-3 years ago was the Evolution of Dance, which was 700 million.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, man, that's a lot of views. Not compared to fucking this. Hey, oh, you almost said it, man. You almost broke the magic.
Broke the magic. Have you been listening to any what's got you this year for music?
For me, what do you mean? What's got me? Are you asking me about my genre that got me, or
like any songs that you've listened to? Any like artists?
I don't follow anybody. I just listen to whatever's on the radio.
Listen to whatever's on the radio.
Yeah, I just and like Japanese songs, stuff like that.
Okay.
That's about it. What about you? Any songs that surprise you?
Well, I listened to like a lot of Odd Future, and they're gonna be releasing their new album. And
sponsoring.
I don't give a shit. And Earl Sweatshirt. I don't think a lot of people listen to that song, but Earl Sweatshirt released that song "Chum." If like people listen to that. And then there was like this. I don't know what he is. Like he's American, but like he's like half Korean, half something else, and he does like beats and like almost like synchronized instrumentals.
Yeah.
Like it's not like those like club instrumentals like like whatever like dubstep or whatever, but his name is like Toro Y Moy or something, and he does a lot of beats for Odd Future as well, and I've just been listening to him, so that's pretty good. Yeah, and little B Bass God.
I think Bass God.
Swag.
I think for me the top 3 songs would have to these 3 songs just hit me. Brand New Day, obviously.
What is it? No.
Baby,
I'm sure.
Brand new day. Oh, habibi, habibi.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go with that. Yeah. I think I know that. Yeah.
You and I, and Julie
with like
the guitar.
With the guitar.
I figured out how to play on the guitar, so that's fucking cool. And Amnesia.
Yeah.
And I think those 3 are probably my top 3 songs for 2012. I know it's near the end. But there's something about Amnesia that just gets you off guard. Probably it was just what's that guy's name?
Who?
What's that guy's name? Fuck, I don't remember. Not Sean Paul.
Pitbull.
Not Pitbull. He was in Promiscuous.
Timberland. He didn't release anything, did he?
I don't think so. No, he was in that song. He just did a little vocal. Yeah, he was in the song when he was like, you got me all wrong.
Apologize.
Wasn't
that Flow Rider?
His part just got me. Flow Rider. Apologize. What?
No.
What the fuck are you talking about?
You got me all wrong. Isn't that Flow Rider?
No, it's Timbaland.
Huh. I didn't realize Timbaland was like alive.
Hey,
did you?
He was like Tupac. He was dead.
Yeah. Did you hear about that guy Rick Ross? You know the rapper Rick Ross, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he doesn't. His name is like you know how he like raps about like how he deals drugs and stuff.
Okay.
Did you hear about that news? He's like actual what's it called? He was a corrections officer before.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Search it up.
That's fucked up.
If you want to read like an article about it, yeah.
I'll check that shit out later, man.
So it's kind of ironic, and he got his name from an actual like drug lord like that's been in like prison. And like his name's not even Rick Ross.
I think you told me about this before.
He's like complete imposter. I don't know how that shit happens.
Copyright, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And then I searched up on Wikipedia.
Yeah.
And it's the truest shit ever. It's the true blue.
God
damn, son.
Such a liar.
God damn, base guy.
Yeah.
Fuck, man.
Okay.
Yeah, on a completely unrelated note for the top 10, I just wanted to bring this up. I saw this documentary. I know this applies to the rest of the world, but there's this documentary I saw in Japan, because the Japanese, it might be obvious to you or some other people, but like the Japanese have like a secluded society of their own, right? They want to stay all Japanese. They don't want like maybe a white guy and like a Japanese girl or vice versa, right?
Kind of
they
China.
just
like
sort of like China, yeah.
Just isolation culture type of thing.
But if you're in Japan,
like this is current. This is modern.
This is current.
Modern culture.
This is current, and that there's stories about a white guy that went to Japan, and he'd marry this Japanese girl, and they'd have a kid, right? But then the Japanese wife would kidnap the kid and run back to her hometown.
Wait, this isn't one case. This is like...
This is more than one case. This is like...
ongoing.
In the thousands, probably.
Ongoing.
Is ongoing. And
yeah.
there's a whole problem with a lot of foreigners that live in Japan losing their kids because of that ideal society where, you know, the Japanese want to keep pure and, you know, only Japanese customs, only Japanese this, right? So many mothers would just kidnap their children and just run off to their hometown and just live there and not contact the father. Yeah. Hopefully the father will, you know, just give up and be like, oh, I just got played, right?
Yeah.
But in the documentary, they followed 3 fathers, and it gets fucking intense. The first father.
What is this documentary called?
I don't remember. I'll send it to you later. I'll post it on later in the description. But there are 3 cases. The second one I don't really remember because it didn't say much about it for some reason. It was just the same as the first one. The first one, this guy, he had a son originally, right? And this son is I don't want to say retarded, but if I say retarded, everyone can guess what it is. Like
autistic.
He's not autistic. He can't breathe properly because something about this disease that something builds in your airways, and so the father has to take a tube and clean his airways so he doesn't suffocate
like
to
an asthma type of thing.
Sort of.
Okay.
So he doesn't suffocate to death, right? And like it's the saddest thing ever. Like it's just this. I don't know how old this kid is. Maybe 5 or even younger. He's just lying on the bed. His eyes are just like rolled up, and he's like a wide open mouth, and he's not doing anything. He's not saying anything, and you just see the father just like clean the kid and clean his airways, and he was fighting for his other child that was actually kidnapped, which is his daughter. And so,
wait, he had 2 kids, and one of them got kidnapped by the mother?
Yeah. And, you know, he's by himself. He doesn't have... Because in Japan, there's no welfare. There's no such thing. Yeah. So you're on your own, essentially, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, and he's talking about, like, I have to keep fighting for my daughter. And you see him cleaning his son, who's just, like, mentally incapacitated. And it's just the saddest...
Oh, just because, like, air... Like, oxygen can't flow to his brain or something like that? Like, not sufficient
I don't
oxygen?
know what it is, but essentially his son's... He can't do anything. Okay. It's not like he's autistic.
Yeah, but
he just can't do anything. He can't do anything. He can't think.
Is he like a vegetable? Basically.
Almost, essentially a vegetable.
Yeah.
Probably a vegetable. He can't do anything. That was the first story. The second story was sort of similar, except it was just one of his kids, right, and kidnapped off. Sorry, second guy, but that's all it was. The third guy got so fucking intense.
Do they go out in the documentary? Do they show like? Sorry to interrupt, but
no, it's fine.
Do they show like the husbands or whatever trying to capture, like trying to get?
Oh
back?
no! They don't show the husbands doing that because they could get fucked up for real, and you'll see why.
Where?
Huh?
From who?
The police, maybe.
They'll call the police.
They'll call the police. The police don't have any empathy
Yeah.
or sympathy for the white guys, because
Because they're outsiders.
Because they're outsiders essentially.
Yeah.
And what they want to do is just keep that as like sense of Japanese identity, right? They don't want anybody else to join in.
And it's not really like a racism type of thing. It's just like
Is it it's not really racist. It's just the belief of
the outsiders,
cultural values or something.
Yeah.
Some shit like that.
Because it's not just like white people. It's like they're outsiders for like everybody. Everybody outside of Japan is an outsider.
Yeah.
They treat them like that. It's not like a particular person. Or
Before I
race.
continue on to this, the kidnapping, if you ever go to any Japanese in the America, I don't know about Canada, but I know in America because of the Pearl Harbor shit.
Mm-hmm.
If you go to a Japanese person that was born there and you call them Jap, or just spell out like text out like JAP Jap, they get really offended. And when you go to Japan, when you call them Jap or Japs, they really don't give a shit. And it has something to do with the Japanese living in America, that kind of society that they had to live in.
Yeah, it's like it developed a racial slur type of thing. Right?
Sort of, yeah. And apparently in Japan, it's more offensive to call them Asian because if you didn't know this, nobody in Asia likes each other. The Chinese don't like anybody. The Japanese don't like anybody. The Koreans said fuck everybody. Yeah. And the Philippines are just like, oh, I'll just go to Canada.
Karaoke.
Make
a karaoke bar.
That's why they're so happy. And it's more offensive to call them Asians because they just hate each other essentially. Yeah. Because of that history.
It generalizes them, right?
Yeah.
Do they feel like it just generalizes them?
Because you're putting them together with everybody else. But yeah. Anyways, going back to the kidnapping story. The third guy, he got fucked up for real. After his daughter was kidnapped, they're all daughters. Why? I don't know. Maybe it's not just a coincidence. Maybe it's just a coincidence. Who gives a shit? And he was in his home. He's at his home, like a house, all right? And he's working on the computer. He hears no. There's not even a doorbell. I don't know how the fuck they got in. He just turns off his computer. He goes to his living room and he gets smacked in the face with a brick.
Wait, from the police? No.
No, from the kidnapper's family.
Oh, from the Japanese.
Yeah,
family.
So his wife's family.
Yeah.
He gets fucking hit with a brick. And there are pictures afterwards of what happened. He just got fucked up, right?
Yeah.
And so everyone, and they all just like, you better not chase after her or whatever. And then they just ditched, right? And so there's pictures of a brick on the ground covered in blood and hair. They fucked him up really. They hit him hard.
Yeah.
And there's blood all over the place, right? And he took photos and he called the police. And the police, he says to his knowledge, the police don't accept the brick being used as a weapon, and he's making it up.
They don't accept the brick as a weapon.
Yeah, they don't believe it. They think he's just making it up. And when he's like, "What are you talking about? I have pictures." And he showed them the actual brick.
Yeah.
And they're like, "I can't." And then the representatives there, or whatever the fuck they're called, even the detectives, they're just like, "I can't say anything about this. All I can say is that it's not valid." And then they just left.
Yeah.
And they just fucking left. And it's like, how crazy will people...
Is it a question of like, oh, if they do something about it, they'll get the embassy involved?
Huh?
What are they doing? Like when, are they just afraid that they'll get the embassy involved? Is that what it is?
That's a good question, actually. I don't know, because it's like, it's not I don't know, it's hard to say. What are if you do go to the embassy, what are the Japanese going to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
They have to comply with you, right? It's probably because, you're right, it's probably because if they do and he does get custody of the kid, it's no longer his family, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so they don't want to be near him anymore.
No, but the cops themselves, the reason why they don't want to do anything is because of like they'll get the American embassy involved or wherever this guy's from.
Probably. I think he was American.
Yeah. And they don't want that. Like it's too much of a hassle.
Yeah, I don't know. I've been watching a lot of Japanese documentaries
Yeah.
recently, and they're pretty interesting. I'm not saying this is only specific to Japan.
Yeah.
It happens everywhere in the world, right? But there's this other documentary talking about the poverty, because this British guy, he went to live with this family. Well, not live. Well, to just document their life, right? Mm-hmm. And literally, it's just one guy, in his 50s and his girlfriend in her 20s, mid-20s.
Mm-hmm.
And so the story was they're super poor, right? And the guy, his name is Naoki, he lived in the streets essentially for a good few years before his girlfriend saved him, right? So he's indebted to her essentially. And he works part-time.
Wait, how did he... Oh, by getting him out of the ghetto or whatever?
Yeah, pretty much. And, you know, the guy Naoki works a part-time job at a postman's office, right?
Yeah.
And part-time is still not acceptable because, in our standards, because essentially he makes about, the stats they gave were about €5 an hour. And let's, so 5 times 8 is €40. So multiply it essentially by 2 to 3.
So it's what, $10 an hour, let's say? $9 an hour?
Was it €5? I think it was €5 an hour.
Yeah, okay, so that's like what, 9? Maybe 9?
Maybe. So pretty much he's not making that much, right? He's probably just making
minimum wage.
He's making 100 or something. Maybe even less, $100.
$100 a week?
I actually don't know. But he was making a lot less because he's working in a position where he doesn't have to meet the quota.
Yeah.
And so he makes a lot less, but he's, left off the hook, right?
Yeah.
And he says that if you have a quota to meet and you don't meet it, the supervisors will shit all over you, and they'll be like, "Why can't you do this? Right? Are you dumb? Like, are you?" And they just like, "Are you an animal? Like, what the fuck's wrong with you? Are you even human?" And they just berate you like that, right?
Yeah.
And at one point in the documentary, because surprisingly the guy spoke English, and I was like, I wonder why. And it turns out that after World War II, the guy's family was part of a generation where they helped rebuild Hiroshima and Nagasaki and everywhere else, right? But apparently in 1992 there was some kind of economic collapse, and he and his family lost everything, like everything.
What, like from stocks or?
I don't know. They just lost everything because there's no safety net. Essentially, is what they said. There's no backup, so they lost everything.
From what, did they have like a bank account type of thing, and it's just what do you mean, like inflation or what?
There's a crash.
Yeah.
What does that entail?
Well, I guess your money's devalued, right?
Yeah.
Just to,
it's like a recession
to the point. Okay.
So they had to sell everything. They lost everything. The money didn't mean shit essentially.
Yeah.
And he met up with his girlfriend, and the girlfriend works 2 jobs. She only has 5 hours to sleep because she has to work constantly to make all this money. And the guy Naoki, he's he's the housewife essentially. He has to make her lunch, make her breakfast, dinner, and stay home and do all the laundry once he gets back home from his postman job.
Yeah.
And like it got me thinking. It was just like, man, this is the most fucking depressing thing ever. I know it's just not strictly to Japan or whatever, right? But
it's a nice headset, by the way.
Oh, thank you. That's pink and blue and full of sheep and cupcakes.
Yeah. Yeah, we were gonna say Nagasaki. Nagasaki.
That's pretty much it. That's all I wanted to say.
No, but when you were talking about that guy itself, right?
Mm.
Is it just a matter of and I don't want to get into economics at all, right?
Sure.
But like, is it just a matter of inflation that was wrong, or?
It's hard to say. I don't know from what
do you ever think that could happen to like in Canada?
Yeah.
It could.
Like I said, it's not just limited to Japan, dude.
Yeah.
They just did the documentary in Japan.
Exactly. It's a universal truth.
Yeah.
Have you seen that? I don't know. One of my friends at work was talking about it. Did you hear about that movie Sky Child? It was a documentary.
That sounds familiar.
I think you've told me about this. I don't know if you have, but like, they found scientists found this is like a documentary where scientists found a skull that or maybe it's like a bone structure that is at least like 500 years old.
Yeah. And
it has tissue on it, right? And it can't be human, right? Because in 500 years the tissue would like decompose or whatever.
Okay. And
they would cut the tissue and it would rebuild. Did you hear about this?
What?
Yeah, like legitimately. This is what I've heard. I haven't seen the documentary, so yeah, search it up. It's called Sky Child or Star Child.
Wait. So they cut into the tissue and it just regenerated?
Yeah, I don't know if it's instantaneous.
Oh, bullshit.
But like it would grow back.
Bullshit.
Like a living organism. Now, what I think this is, if like, without seeing this documentary,
Yeah.
but like my assumption is that like it's just really bacteria that's growing on it, and like the bacteria would just multiply. But like that would, I don't see how that would work. I haven't.
It has to be. There's no way it's human because like, how is that even how is that even possible? It's not.
No, it's not. So I don't know. I have to see that movie.
Documentary,
yeah. All right.
We strayed pretty far. Let's get back. Number one person. Let's go with this. Number one douchebag of 2012 and number one loved.
Number one loved. Okay. Let's say douchebag. I'm gonna go with Mitt Romney. Is you coming after my boy?
You say Mitt Romney?
That's his name, isn't it?
Mitt Romney.
Fucking Mitt Romney, as I said.
Well, why do you say he's
I don't know. I'm sure he's fine. It's just like, you know, you're white, so you can't win right now. So. Unless you're like fucking like Mr. Rogers or something, you're not gonna beat Barack Obama.
I think for me, I'd have to say number one douchebag.
Chris Brown.
A lot of women are gonna hate me for this, but Justin Bieber. Justin Bieber is the is the smallest dick in the world.
Why?
Because you ever see the photo of him shaking hands with Prime Minister Harper?
Oh,
and and one of the description was gay cowboy.
With the overalls and
the straw hat. He didn't even do the overalls.
Yeah.
All the way. It was just half done.
Yeah.
And it was just like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
And then there's a picture comparison between him and Akon, and Akon visited Obama in like a full motherfucking suit.
Yeah.
See that? And it's just like, man, you know, maybe Justin Bieber was trying to campaign something, his new album.
No.
Maybe that's acceptable, but to me,
I think that's even worse if he's trying to.
But to me, I don't think that's good because you're seeing the motherfucking prime minister.
Yeah.
If you wanted to, he's been like, you had to suck my dick, Justin Bieber, and what are you gonna do? You can't say no. You're gonna have to do it.
It's true. That's a law in Canada. A lot of Americans don't know that, but it's a law.
Wasn't there some kind of law in Canada where you can't have anal sex after 2 p.m.?
After 2 p.m.?
Oh, no, 2 a.m., sorry.
Well, it's why?
I swear I read that.
Is that when like people go to sleep or something? It's like, oh, you. It's like
what the fuck?
Is that what they said? Like they're really little kids to sleep?
I have no idea.
I don't know.
And then here's the second incident of Justin being a douche, was when you ever see that video of the paparazzi trying to annoy him, and he literally stops in the middle of the road.
Oh well, if they're trying to annoy him, right? I mean, like,
is that acceptable? To me, it's not. He's blind. Because what happened was the paparazzi are like. Justin Bieber, I don't know how rich this motherfucker is, but he's driving a Lamborghini.
Yeah.
And the paparazzi is just following him and just annoying him, right? And Justin Bieber stops in the middle of the road, and people behind him are just like, you know, piled up and they're just honking. They're like, move, man, move. And Justin, you just hear from him, I love this, man, I love this. And I was like, you fucking cock. You fucking prick. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, who gives a shit about your problems? It's the fucking paparazzi. Yeah. Just go home, close the door. Or I don't know what you do to get rid of the paparazzi, but blocking people in the road is not what you do. Because they have problems. They have to get the fucking work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They have to, you know, they have to make ends meet.
You know?
They got to get the bread. They're the breadwinners.
They got bitches to see. Bitches got to see me.
Fuck, man.
I don't know.
That's, he's my pick for number one D-bag.
I can't pick Justin Bieber just because, like...
Why? Because he's a good singer?
No. It's just it's mostly just because like I don't know him personally, right? And obviously we're not going to know anybody here personally, right?
You don't have to know anybody personally.
But like he hasn't been doing anything like real douchebaggery. Like, and we're probably going to say Chris Brown. Did you see Chris Brown's like tattoo?
Yeah, what was that all about?
It's like he's like, "Oh, it's part of the Walking Dead. Freaking
Walking Dead.
No, not Walking Dead. What is it called? Dawn of the Dead or something like that. You know that movie Dawn of the Dead?
That's old as shit.
Yeah, he's like, oh, it's from that one, but it's clearly a beaten woman.
From that one.
It's clearly a beaten woman. It is. There's like a black eye.
That's fucking funny.
Yeah.
All right, who's your number one loved by all? 2012.
Loved?
Loved by everyone, or well, by you in your opinion.
I'm gonna have to say Joseph Gordon-Levitt, because like I've been a big.
Oh yeah, it's true.
I've been a big fan of him since like. Do you remember that show Third Rock from the Sun?
Nope.
You gotta watch that show. It's pretty good. Anybody else watching it? Yeah. Anybody else watching this?
You know what's fucking crazy?
What?
Oh, sorry.
No.
You done? I was looking at old pictures with my dad. Like, they're like 1950s. That's how old they stretched. Maybe even further.
Yeah.
And it was crazy because my cousin Martin, right now he's probably in his just turned 30. Mm-hmm. He's married and he has a kid now. When he was a teenager, he looked exactly like.
Wait, this is 1950s. You said.
Oh no, I'm saying to how old the pictures could be.
Oh,
sorry.
Okay, but this one is from like probably
in the 1980s,
okay.
70s, 80s, and he looks exactly like Gordon-Levitt.
Oh yeah.
Gordon-Levitt, as in, you remember, maybe it was that show where he had like the hair like spread from the center like this.
Yeah.
He had the exact same hair and he looked exactly the same, man. And I looked at it and I was like, Dad, he looks like Gordon-Levitt. And my dad's like, who the fuck is that? Because he
yeah.
And I was like, man, I gotta compare. So I went to my computer and I took the photo. The fucking same.
Shit.
The same motherfucking guy. I don't know. Maybe it's a conspiracy. Who knows?
Maybe you're Martin's Looper.
yeah, based off a true story.
Yeah.
Who's that?
Is he your cousin or?
Yeah.
Is he half Asian too?
Oh no.
He's full Asian.
He's full Asian. Yeah.
Oh, but he looks like Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who's like half Asian.
Yeah.
That's weird.
That is weird.
Huh. Yeah. Got big eyes, I guess.
Maybe.
I don't know.
It's fucking cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, your pick number one loved Gordon.
Yeah.
I think for me, this is a no-brainer. What's his name?
Obama.
PSY.
Psy?
Yeah. Well, when did Osama die actually?
Osama? You are you saying? Are you tying this?
No. Because if I said Obama, then it would be when Osama died.
Oh.
Did he? I know it was in May, but what year?
First of all, why do we tie Barack Obama to Osama bin Laden? I know like Osama bin Laden died during that reign, but Barack Obama didn't do shit. Let's be honest.
Are you kidding me? Barack Obama was just he took full credit for it, man. That's how you do it. When you go do something, you don't say, "Oh, we did it as a team." No, you say, "I fucking did it." That's how you fucking do it, man.
I know, but I don't think we as a society should say that. We should say like Barack Obama did it. I mean, like we don't even. Do you know like one person that like killed Osama, like part of that team?
The SEAL team? No.
And well, it's not even a secret organization, right? So they can reveal the names.
Not anymore, at least.
Yeah.
But they still can't reveal the names. It's classified.
I guess so. Yeah.
I remember hearing my dad saying that. In the police force, documents aren't released until like
30 years after.
Not more, 50 years.
Oh, so basically like once you're dead.
Yeah. No. Once you're an old fucking bitch.
Yeah, like you're in a wheel. No, like when
wheelchair.
When
How'd you get crippled?
Shit? From being a cop. That's how you're gonna get crippled, Sydney. God damn.
Yeah. I think I'm just gonna stick with PSY because for some reason his popularity fucking exploded off the motherfucking charts, right? But
yeah, everybody became like fanboys of like Korean pop.
Yeah, and then they're like, "Oh, I'm so Korean." Da, 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 da.
Is that the Korean theme song?
That's the Korean theme song.
What are those music videos by like girl bands in Korea? Like, there's like, I'm not even. Are they like the same? Like, you know, like girls. What is it? Girls' Generation.
Girls' Generation.
Yeah. But like, is that like the only girl band there?
No, there's more.
Oh shit.
There's a shitload more.
Like, what's the obsession with that? Is it just like?
Because they're hot girls dancing. That's my.
They're not. They're not. Great.
Great looking. If you look at their moves, because
they're always
they're always sticking their asses out. And they're always like shaking it, and then they're doing like oh.
But look at them individually. You know what I mean? Just like take the time, Google search every name individually, and you'll see like, oh, these girls are 6s and 7s. But like if you put
6s and 7s.
But if you put them in like a bunch, then like If you put them in a bunch, right?
Yeah.
If you have freaking like, how many girls are there? Freaking like 12 girls. Freaking that's 24 tits in your face. What? Like, oh, this is pretty hot now.
Oh. Well, we'll get a K-pop lover in here, and we'll test to their to the best of their abilities.
We should honestly. Okay, I know there's a lot of viewers that like they know us, right? Mm-hmm. So who do you think we're gonna be inviting to our podcast?
I don't fucking know.
You don't know?
I don't fucking know.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna invite some people that like shit.
Well, who are fans of total shit.
Yeah, total shit call.
I don't know. We'll just see who comes.
Yeah. I actually have a friend that...
You have friends?
I do have a friend.
Fuck.
Yeah, you should seriously get one. And...
yeah.
That backfired, City, eh?
Fuck. Yeah, go.
And I work with him, right? It's not the same guy that the Star Child one. He did I tell you about this? He has like a band.
He checks out girls?
Oh, no, that's a different guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He's got a band.
Yeah,
I heard about that already.
He has a band. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if they're recording or anything, or they just do house shows. But like, if you want, maybe I can invite him, and then like he could like promote his band or whatever. Not like seamlessly promote it. Like, oh come on down.
Hey guys, we're gonna go down to the bar.
Yeah, but we're
gonna play you some songs. No, but that might be cool. Yeah.
Yeah, but like we can do that.
Yeah.
And then like, we'll have a conversation. And you know who I find interesting? People with tattoos.
Really?
What's
so interesting about them? Are you saying they're interesting or the tattoos are interesting?
just the concept of like thinking about getting a tattoo, in the sense that there's people that just get tattoos. I think that's more interesting. People that just get tattoos for getting them. You know what I mean? Just to look at them.
I guess.
Like something about that is just like why would you do that? And like they don't even know the reason themselves. Like how could you have something like imprinted permanently on you without really understanding what this means, right? It's all right.
Yeah. I really can't say why people do that. For me, I'm not gonna do it because I don't see the point. Is like, will I ever love something to the point where I can't get rid of it?
Yeah.
You know,
because like
things are great, but I'm not gonna like get a tattoo.
Especially when you're young, because you're always changing, right? And I don't mean like physically changing and like, it's gonna be all it's gonna be all like wrinkly and shit when you like get older and stuff, right? But I'm thinking more of you changing as a person, like to the point where like, oh, maybe I won't like Hello Kitty in the next 5 years. Maybe that was a shitty idea to get Hello Kitty on my left testicle.
That was a poor decision. Are you serious?
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, maybe it could be the same for, I don't know, people smoking or drinking, right? Why, well, let's go with smoking first, right?
Yeah.
Why would people still smoke after all these, studies about like, oh, you're going to get lung cancer, like you have all these defects. Your teeth are going to fall out, your gums are going to fall out, you don't want to eat, you don't want to suck dick anymore, like it's horrible, right?
Yeah. I love sucking dick.
It's the joys of life, man.
Got to play to win. But is it just because like, oh, you want to be cool? I think it's more than that. I mean, like, you're being dismissive. It's like, I want to be cool.
I think that's the only reason.
It's more of like, not just that. Like, it's more of like, it's like a social type of thing, right? Because when I talk to people like that they tried for like the first time, it's really just because like it's social. Like the same thing with drinking. Yeah. Like it's a social initiator. It's not like some sort of.
I guess from time to time it's fine, right? But to me, if you gotta fit in the smoke, then clearly, something's wrong.
Yeah, if you're not prioritizing yourself at all, right? And in school, right? We've learned like, do you remember in grade 4 we learned like, oh, don't do drugs, don't drink, don't smoke, don't. Yeah. Do you think we should have been learning that, or we should have been learning how to do it responsibly? That's what and learn like the actual side effects.
I think they should say go ahead and do it, but do it in moderation.
Yeah, but
because then
they should have focused on regulation,
then
right?
I think people will learn properly.
Yeah.
Instead of staying away from it. Because for me, for drinking, I was just like, I don't fucking understand this. Like, it tastes like shit. Why do people drink, right? But that's just me, right? But if they taught it as, this is what smoking does to you. But if you want to go ahead and do it, no one's like, don't say you weren't warned. You know what I mean? Maybe that's okay. But of course, no one's going to agree to that, right? The same with drinking, the same with drugs, right? You're breaking the law. If you do drugs, you're breaking the law, right? They don't want you to do that. They want you to be a model citizen. But I think the best way to say is, here's everything that, that could harm you, that could get you into certain groups, maybe. But then, here are the side effects. You can choose which side you're on, essentially, right? That probably might teach people better.
To go straight for the side effects and be like, okay, you have to understand.
What I'm saying is, instead of saying don't do this,
yeah,
just say, here it is. Here's what's gonna happen. Done. Right? They shouldn't push for something. Well, that's just me, right?
Yeah.
It's probably because I have a decent moral barometer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know, but like, for something like alcohol, right? That like, I'm sure it kills like a whole bunch of like teenagers.
Yeah.
That like they just overdrink, right? From alcohol poisoning.
Yeah.
Imagine how much they benefited if like a teacher just went through and been like, okay, you can drink, but like you have to understand that like the side effects of it, when to stop, when to
wedgie.
Yeah, when to wedgie.
My bad.
It's okay. And even the same thing with pot. You have like, there's people that are gonna do pot, right? And they have to understand eventually like what the side effects are and like how you're gonna feel.
Yeah.
And if you should be doing it or not.
Do you remember?
And it's not just like, oh, don't do it. Drugs are bad.
Do you remember when they showed us what drugs were? Did they show us the actual forms, like cocaine is a white powder and like marijuana is like a grass, right? Going back to that, I remember for Mega 64 Garrett, he was talking about one of the times he got in trouble in school was they did it was called for them the DARE program, and they showed like
DARE program.
I don't know what it stands for, but it was like, this is what marijuana is, this is what cocaine is, this is what ecstasy looks like, right?
Yeah.
And so, of course, one of the best things to play at recess was cops and robbers.
Yeah.
And so instead of cops and robbers, they did drug dealers and cops and drug dealers. And so the drug dealers what they would do, Garrett was like, we'd roll up little pieces of paper and we'd like smoke it, pretend to smoke it, and then we'd be like, oh no, it's the cops, hide the joints! And then they like hide it and run away. And then it turns out that somebody told on them, and the principal was like, yeah, you're gonna get suspended now. And
what?
Garrett's like, what? And he was like really scared, right?
Yeah.
But then all the parents of the suspended kids, they're just like, what the fuck is this? You guys are dumb. This is what you taught them.
Yeah.
And then the next day, they were back in school. So, I don't know. I still remember when we did that DARE, was it? I don't know what it's called for us, but when we did that drugs program, was when people brought rockets, they would always be like, oh, have some ecstasy. Pop, 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 pop. Yeah. Right? And then like whenever there was sugar,
because they do that at like the clubs and stuff, they'll actually have like printed like rockets. They'll put like a happy face or whatever, like a Nike sign. I remember.
I remember they also told another story at Mega 64 where some guy took a pixie stick and he's like, yo, check this out, cocaine. And he sniffed the whole stick and he's like, oh!
That burns, because that goes straight to your brain, right?
Well, basically. I don't know how the fuck it works.
I don't know. I don't know if it'll go straight to your brain, but yeah.
Oh, drugs. I love this shit. It's like after talking about drugs, it's like we got high or something.
Yeah.
What happened? All right.
You know what? Do you find that like the best kind, like, do you feel like after working out you feel kind of high? Like you feel like
No.
I feel like a sort of.
I know you do.
Yeah, I do.
You get dazed and confused. We come out of the gym, you're like, did we just work out?
Yeah.
Did I pump?
Yeah. I don't know. It's not even like, oh, like I'm like drunk or anything.
Yeah.
But it just makes you feel like you're more connected with your body. Like we were working out like almost every day. Yeah, we were working out like almost every day.
Mm-hmm.
On on the summer break, right?
Mhm.
And did you feel like you were more connected with your body?
Yeah.
Yeah, and like even when you're like in exam mode, do you
Mhm.
feel like you're more connected with your brain?
No. No.
I don't know. I like. Do you just
I
feel
dumb out.
You dumb out? You
I
feel
dumb
like
out.
worse?
Yeah, I dope out, man.
Oh shit, man! I feel worse when like I'm not in exam mode. And
It's always like that for everybody. It's like you start like halfway through the class, you're like, man, I fucking know everything. Why do I need to study? And come during exam times with all the details, you're like, what the fuck was I taking?
I know what you mean. But my point is that like, imagine if we can get to a point where we feel fully connected with both our mind and our body, where
That's like some evolution shit.
it's not just like, oh, we can talk with our minds, which honestly, we should be able to talk with our minds. And not like now we should be able to talk with our minds, but like, I don't know, something. Did you hear something?
Yeah, I thought I heard something, but
Okay.
it was just me, I think.
Okay, anyway, what was I saying? Do you feel like it's primitive to talk with our mouths? I was thinking about this like during the break. I was like, why do we still talk with like verbally? Isn't that like we're just speaking with like grunts and moans?
Yeah.
Why are we doing that?
Why do you think that's considered barbaric?
And we think we're better than other animals, right?
Yeah.
We're not in the sense of like communication. Really, we can write and read and stuff, but is that a huge step forward? I don't know.
Language?
When
Essentially.
Well, I guess so. Like a book, that's basically you're writing down your thoughts, and like you can read somebody else's
Why?
thoughts.
What kind of need is there to speak with your mind or technology when you can just cost free just talk like this?
Well, it's not just a matter of cost free. It's just a matter of
Energy
it's
free.
so like primitive.
Why is it primitive?
Because
you're thinking
we're just
it's-
speaking it in grunts and moans. That's what we're speaking in, right? So why would
But
we,
why is that
why are we
primitive?
still doing
Why
that?
is the assumption here that if you grunt or moan, anything that involves in a disgusting sound from you, why is that barbaric?
Because we're putting more effort. Like it would be more effective to speak with our minds. And you know how like when you have like an idea,
that would cost more energy.
but do you know when you have an idea
Yeah.
and you just can't articulate it?
Yeah.
Imagine if like you can transfer that idea to
Mhm.
somebody else
Mhm.
and they'd understand it the exact way you understood it.
That's the idea of communication, essentially. Because if you transfer your thoughts, right,
Yeah.
they still can't interpret it, probably.
But how about if people with like they're inarticulate? They can't produce I don't want to say sentence, like they can't produce sentences, but they're not.
There's no flow of words.
There's no flow of words, exactly, like the way I'm talking right now. So imagine if like that feeling of knowing something that like, oh shit, I get this. Imagine if that could be transferred to you at the
Probably.
time.
That would be interesting, but I don't think that should how it should be, you know what I mean? It would be great to have the technology, but then that would, kind of make obsolete your own mind, the thought of perception. Because, if you do something like that, perception goes out the window. You don't interpret it the only way you do. So everyone looks at it one way. So if some guy sees a movie and he thinks like, oh yeah, it should be like this, he transfers it to everybody else, then they'll be like, yeah, you're right. And then it's that thing, like everyone thinks the same thing.
Oh shit!
Right?
We would be blending.
And then everyone would just be the same.
Yeah.
It's like Brave New World, man.
So that idea of individual ideas spreading is really just
I'm not
homogenizing that.
I'm not
idea.
saying that's bad, but to require it is not the greatest thing in the world.
True. Yeah.
Think of it like this. Think of technological advances. Back then, was it Aristotle that said this, where the three elements, you can't divide them any further. We're like earth, water, fire, and air, or something like that, right?
Yeah.
It's like Avatar.
Yeah.
Right? And those are the four elements. You can't divide them further. What if that actually existed? We transfer his thinking to everybody else. Then we would still we wouldn't have technology, essentially, right? We'd be like, yeah, man, don't fuck with him, man. He's got fire coming out of his arms or something.
And in that self,
He's like flame on. Huh?
in that self, would that be technology itself?
I guess so.
Or how do you define technology? Do you find technology as a sort of object, like that we used, and
Technology. I think I would say the use of an object foreign to your body.
because even Immanuel Kant,
Yeah.
he defines humanity as using other objects
Mm-hmm.
as tools. That's his definition of humans. Things that use other objects as tools.
Mm-hmm.
Would you ever think about that as the definition? And that in itself, doesn't that show that like technology is just an expansion of our own humanity? I don't want to get deep.
I think you're right. To just put it for me to put it in simple words, technology is human. It's human, right?
Yeah.
It's not.
Even like that rock you throw, like even when we're hunters gatherers, right, and throwing sticks at things, we're still. That's an extension of our control. Just like
Yeah.
that lion that's like ready to pounce.
Mm-hmm.
That thing is the extension.
A mechanism.
That's his mechanism, right? That's his technology.
Yeah.
Freaking gonna pounce on your ass. That's him.
Mm-hmm.
But like, our technology is the big stick that we're whacking.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to get really off topic, but like, do you remember when I was thinking about the readings that I had for like technology?
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I came across the idea that you remember the famous line in Iron Man, right? Is like, "I am Iron Man," right? At the end of the movie. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
It's also the shittiest line ever, but yeah.
I was thinking about that line, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's the only superhero that says, "I am Iron," like, "I am
Yeah.
this," right?
Yeah.
And the reason because of that is because he's the only one that equates himself. Tony Stark is the only one that equates himself to Iron Man, because that suit is just an extension of his technology.
Oh shit.
You know what I mean?
Oh man.
That's why.
That's deep.
That's why Clark Kent doesn't equate himself to Superman, because Clark Kent is the whatever.
Businessman.
I don't know, what does he do?
He's a businessman.
He's a businessman. I thought he
Yeah.
was like working at the Daily Bugle or something. Yeah, and then
Yeah, that's true.
him fights. I don't know, what is his name?
Mysterio.
Mysterio.
I don't know.
Mysterio.
Whatever. Yeah, let's go with Mysterio.
Superman is fighting Mysterio. Well, Clark Kent's at the Daily Bugle.
Yeah.
You know.
I remember on 9gag it said like picture Superman, no one must know my secret. Spider-Man, no one must know my secret.
Batman. Everybody knows.
Batman, no one must know my secret. And then you see Tony Stark, fuck it, I'm Iron Man. and then the continuation of that on some other post was, fuck it, I'm Iron Man. And then you see in the Iron Man 3 trailer, his whole estate is blown up, and he's like, fuck. That was really funny.
I don't know.
I don't know how you came up with that shit, dude. That's fucking deep.
Yeah.
Fucking deeper than my throat.
Huh.
It's not that deep.
Yeah, it's not that deep, but
That's crazy.
yeah. And did you see that new Superman trailer? That looks good, eh?
Oh, yeah. No.
You didn't like it?
From what I saw, it's just him walking on a road.
Oh,
That was it.
You didn't see the part with his dad?
No.
Watch the extended trailer with his
Okay.
dad.
'Cause
When Superman's like a kid or something, and his dad is like, or he goes to his dad. He's like, "Don't you think I should have saved those kids?" And then his dad's like, "Maybe not."
Oh shit.
Yeah. So it seems a lot darker. It looked good. It looked good.
That's interesting. I gotta check that out. Yeah. You know what I really wanted to watch, but I didn't have fucking time because of exams. Paranormal Activity 4, Silent Hill 2.
Paranormal Activity
4.
Oh, okay.
I fucking missed it. A lot of people don't like Paranormal Activity. I just like it because of the first movie. And whatever. I'm just going to roll with it.
Mhm.
But Silent Hill, you know what Silent Hill is about originally?
Ghosts?
Originally,
Ghosts.
Ghosts! Originally, it was a video game produced by some Japanese dudes. And it was like one of the scariest games ever. But my favorite was Silent Hill 2 because it was so deep. Because what happens is, the main character's name is James.
Mhm.
And he goes to Silent Hill because for some reason he received a letter from his wife saying to come to Silent Hill. But the thing is, his wife died like a year ago. And he's like, who sent this letter? Like, it's her handwriting. Like, what's going on? And so, he goes around, he he meets people. He meets like this crazy girl that's trying to mourn the death of somebody.
Should've just checked the date.
He sees this other girl named Maria. Like James' wife is named Mary.
Yeah.
But he meets this other girl named Maria, and so they don't and they're trying to help each other, right? And so at the end of the near the end of the game, you figure out that James was actually the one who killed his wife, because the wife had cancer.
Oh.
And the whole time she was like,
put her out of her misery or whatever.
No, not that. It's not heroic. Because the whole time she had cancer, Mary was just like,
bitching.
get out. Yeah, she was being a bitch. She's like, get out. No one wants to see me. Get the fuck out of here. I don't like you. And then when James actually leaves, she's like, no. And she's crying. She's like, no, come back, James, right? And James and he confesses, he's like, in his mind, he's like, I didn't kill you to put you out of your misery. I killed you because you were too annoying.
Wow.
Right? And so there's this monster called Pyramid Head. You've seen it, right? It's like a wheelbarrow on this guy's head, right?
Yeah.
And it's all around the whole Silent Hill while he's there, right? He's like the boss you can't really kill, right? And it turns out that
you can't kill him?
You can't.
I thought he was the main guy to kill. I don't know.
You can't kill him until the end.
Yeah.
And the reason why it's there is because James finally realizes that they're the embodiment of his sins, because he needed someone to punish him for what he's done.
Yeah.
But at the end, when he realizes he doesn't need them anymore, he's realized what he's done. They impale themselves and kill them, and Pyramid Head killed himself.
Oh.
It was deep as fuck, man.
Yeah.
It was really good. Maybe I'll send you the walkthrough. Cloud 8745. You probably don't know him, but he used to be a really popular guy who did walkthroughs and stuff.
Yeah. You were telling me about this
If I can, I'll find his videos again, because someone kept his whole archive, so that was cool. But yeah, it was a really interesting story.
Okay.
But of course, the Silent Hill movies have nothing to do with Pyramid Head, nothing to do with Silent Hill 2. It's just their own take on it, right?
Do you prefer that? Would you rather them do a reiteration of 2?
Yeah, I like to see how they would do it, how they would handle it. Yeah,
Sure.
But it would be hard because you're pretty much alone for most of the time, unless they do some flashbacks or cut it down or condense it really well. But yeah, I'd like to see how they would do it.
Okay.
Interesting. Are there any video game movies you would like to see adapted?
Well, there's obviously that Halo movie.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's ever gonna get done. Well,
Probably not. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I've lost interest in that. I don't know. Do you find that it's necessary for for a storyline to be in a video game?
Yeah. Necessary.
Necessary.
No.
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 Yeah.
Farm Simulator.
Did you play that? I've seen a lot of
dumbest shit ever.
What is it? Is it like Farm?
It's a farm simulator.
Is it like Farmville?
No, nothing like that. You're just a farmer. You can do whatever the fuck you want. You don't have to harvest crops. You can just run around. You can drive tractors and shit.
That sounds
collect
awesome.
wheat. Do flips and shit on hills.
Flips and shit.
What's the point of the fucking train simulator? What's with all these fucking simulators? Like they're gonna teach us something.
Did you ever see that trailer for Echo the Rebellious Dolphin or something? Where
he's pissing on everybody.
He's just pissing on everybody. He's anal raping everybody.
That is fucked up.
Yo, what was that?
I have no idea.
Is that gonna be released, or is that just?
It's not gonna be an official game, I'll tell you that. But hell, man, if it comes out, I'm gonna buy it.
Xbox exclusive.
I'm gonna buy that, dude. Buy that.
And how about okay, so now that we've talked about some shit that went down last year, what are we looking forward for next year?
This year.
Yeah, let's go with this year too.
What am I looking forward to most?
Yeah. Anything.
For games, I'm looking forward to The Last of Us.
That looked good. Is that
fucking amazing? I can't wait to get my hands on that shit.
Yeah.
If they included a co-op option, that would kind of break it off, but that would be that would be the option that made it perfect. You know what I mean? Because it's not necessary. It'll break the connection from single player between you two, where you have to rely on each other.
Yeah.
But the idea of co-op, where you can just communicate, is I think I would have seconded, because it just made sense, right?
And especially if you're going to pay the $60 price, right? You want as many features as you can. I don't know why people complain about, like, when they're like, oh, the co-op is not necessary. Well, just turn co-op off, buddy. I mean, like, for, like, shitty games like Resident Evil 5 where, like, if you were to play single player, it's just, like, unplayable. Like, Sheva would, like, run into walls.
Run into walls, and then you'd be like, Sheva. She's like, I'm coming. Yeah. Sheva, hold your horses, bitch.
Hold your horses.
Yeah. Are you looking forward to any video games this year?
I don't know. We talked about no video games, but like the Superman
movie.
The Superman movie. I was gonna say the Superman game. Do you remember?
That's the worst fucking game in existence.
Yeah, you saw that, right?
Yeah. Flying through rings and shit.
Yeah, flying through rings. That I'm sure that happened.
I think
fighting Mysterio.
Well, when do you think we're gonna get the next generation of consoles?
Probably November, maybe October. I'm not gonna buy it.
I'm gonna say September.
Yeah, to be honest, I won't buy it.
I don't know how long they've been in development, but it's been at least 7 years. No.
Really?
5 years.
That's true. This generation has been like overly used. Do you find like it's dead now?
It's dead.
It's dead.
If The Last of Us comes out and it's fucking perfect, then that's the last saving grace essentially for the last generation of consoles, because pretty much everything's been pushed to their limit. You can't really change anything anymore. Yeah, all it is just a matter of limits, because
I think that last Halo game was like the last, like, in terms of texture, that was like it.
Halo 4 is the last endeavor, essentially. It's the last frontier. And to me, The Last of Us on the PS3 will be the last game to really show capabilities of, what we can come up with, how things will work out, the imaginations of everyone's minds, and the graphics. The graphics themselves are not too bad, but I'm pretty sure Halo 4 will amaze me more once I play Last of Us. It'd be like, maybe not as good as Halo, maybe not as great as I thought it would be or how it should look, right? But, I just gotta wait and see how it is.
Yeah. I guess that in itself describes technology. We have to wait.
Limits.
We have to wait.
It's here.
It's here, but we have to wait.
No, we just have to fucking wait.
Yeah.
That's true.
Okay, how about movies?
I don't even know what movies are coming out besides Superman.
Yeah, that's the only thing I can think of. There was one movie. It was like really, really trippy, where like, what is it called again? I have no idea what it's called, but like this guy's just trying to look for his dog, and like there's like a special like dog finder guy.
Dog finder.
Like, like what's that Caesar guy, like dog whisperer type of guy. Yeah, he's like,
that's the dumbest show ever.
Yeah, but he's like, don't worry, I'll help you find your dog.
There's this dog, and it's like, oh, it's really. I saw one episode. He's like, this dog is really shy of people. What we're gonna do is we're gonna, bring it out to the park,
brutally attack it.
We're gonna make sure it feels comfortable in its environment. Bitch, this isn't being a dog whisperer. It's called science.
Yeah, fucking be nice to it. Oh, all of a sudden it's a fucking nice dog.
Damn. Did the world just get better? I can't tell.
See, I fix it all. Oh, it likes food. Oh, okay.
It runs on food. What? I thought this was a car. What is this?
Yeah, you like it when I pet you. Do you think there's probably like, what is his job?
The dog whisperer? What his real job is?
Like, what's his
forte?
Yeah, like
being
what's
a
his
good
job?
Liar.
I guess so. Like, what's his job? What is it like? What's his occupation title?
Mr. Dog Whisperer.
Mr.
I don't
Dog
fucking
Whisperer.
know.
Are there other people like him that
whisper to dogs? No, he's the only crazy nut out there.
Oh,
you know
my
what?
God.
And
clearly, he's not doing shit.
Being a psychic, actually,
he's a dog trainer.
Yeah.
Okay, he's just a really good dog trainer. That's what he is.
Yeah. There's nothing more. You can read through a book and you can guess everything.
Yeah.
Essentially, right? But yeah, what I wanted to talk about was, you ever hear this guy named James Randi?
No.
James Randi? He is probably one of the coolest people on earth. He was a magician for a good portion of his life, but until I don't know, he's about 82 now, but maybe in the 60s, or when he was 60, he was trying to find out if psychic abilities do exist. And there's a prize of $1 million if you can prove to him, to his satisfaction, that
satisfaction
that you can prove psychic powers exist. And one of them was this guy, he said he could move a pencil without touching it, and he could flip a page book, the page of a phone book without moving it. And so it was on a TV show, right? And so after he did the test, Randy came in and he was like, I don't have to do the pencil one because, and he explains it. He's like, yeah, the air currents with the currents of my hand will easily cause it to move. And he does the exact same thing, and he's like, busted. Yeah. And the next one with the page, because how the psychic does it is he walks towards it and he crouches and he pushes his hand, right? Yeah. That's how it looks. But Randy's like, he's like, what I think he's doing is he's blowing on the page to produce this effect. So he gets like, those little styrofoam, little Cheeto-looking things, and he puts it all over the phone book. And you see the psychic, he's like, how the fuck did he figure this out? And so the whole time he's trying to pretend like he's trying to do it, and he's like, and he comes up with a good his best excuse, I should say. He's like, the TV host was like, oh, what's wrong? And psychic was like, oh, like there's a problem because the foam creates static electricity, which the lights heat up and produces electricity. What? And I was like, that doesn't make any fucking sense at all. And so there were 3 scientists, a psychologist, an astrologist, and a physicist maybe, and they were there trying to judge it. And Randy's like, I heard, the host was like, did you hear that, Randy? And Randy's like, yeah, I heard the question, but he's making an assumption that's completely wrong. The foam doesn't create any static electricity. Yeah. And then the psychic, before Randy says that, psychic's like, yeah, it creates electricity, which is pulling the page down. And then Randy explains it. He's like, yeah, I don't believe it, but I'm not a scientist, so I have to leave it to the judge. And the judges are like, yeah, the foam doesn't create any electricity at all. I don't know what you're talking about. And then the psychologist was like,
it's an insulator, isn't it? Foam is an insulator.
I think so, yeah. Yeah. And then the psychologist was like, yeah, even if that was true, I don't see why that would affect you because you're psychic. You can move pages. And he got him. He fucking got him. And the psycho was like, son of a bitch. And he tries to do it for like 5 more minutes. He's like, I can't do it. I can't do it. And there's even more people that Randy busts out there. And it's pretty cool. You ever hear some bitch named Sylvia Brown? No. She is probably one of the craziest people because she is a so-called psychic, and she has people come on the show and they're like, and the audience would be like, oh, she'll choose somebody and they'll be like, oh, my son went missing, and she's like, let me connect with him in the spirit world. I'm not shitting you. Yeah. She's like, oh, he's what's his name? Does his name have an A in it? And they're like, yeah, it's James.
That's a vowel. Yeah. It's a vowel.
Yeah. And then after the she's like
A E-I-O-U.
And Randy exposes it so well because
sometimes
he's like,
why?
Randy will expose it because he'll say like, it's called cold reading. They'll say a bunch of shit to make you suggest that something's right, and then they'll pick pieces, right? Yeah. And so they'll say the vaguest shit. She's like, your son, he's having trouble breathing, and Randy's like, no shit, that's how you die. You have trouble breathing. And so one of the times that Sylvia Brown bitch got busted was when this woman, she's like, yeah, my son, he went missing during 9/11. And she's like, oh, I sense water. He drowned. And then she's like, huh? And the Sylvia Brown's like, yeah, your son, he drowned. His lungs are filled with water. And she's like, no, he was a firefighter. He was working to help, he was helping people escape from the buildings from 9/11. And then Sylvia Brown's like, no, but I see him drowning. And then she's like, no, that's not right. And Sylvia Brown's like, well, if he was a firefighter, he might have drowned on water somehow. And then she's like, she's shaking her head. She's like, what are you talking about? Yeah. And then she's like, I'll take another person now. Oh, wow. This is the funniest fucking... Search this guy out. James Randy. James Randy. Yeah. He's still alive now. He's so fucking cool.
Now, why do you think people do that? Is it just for money?
Just for money. Yeah. Just for money. They don't care. They don't care if it's evil. It's just because they're fucking evil.
You ever see those?
No, it's just because they're fucking...
You ever see like those? What is it called? Like those they run like Christian shows, but they're like live, like, I'm gonna use my priest powers to like free you from the devil or some shit. Yeah. Like,
actually,
praise the Lord.
Right? Praise the Lord. Yeah, like James Randy busts another. Apparently, they're all over the place. He busts another nut.
Yeah.
He's called a spiritual healer. You ever hear them? They're like they'll act as pastors or priests, and what they'll do. Pastors or priests, sorry. and what'll happen is they'll be like this guy named Peter Popoff. He was a famous spiritual healer, and there'd be like crowds, thousands of people, and he'd be like, "You over there, what's your name?" And he'll say, "Is like, is your name like Sandy or something, right?" And what'll happen is, yeah, and then they'll be like, "Oh, how'd you know my name?" And then he's like, "You live at like 52nd Street, right?" And then they're like, "Oh my God," right? And then he'll be like, "You have arthritis. Let me burn the arthritis." And he'll touch their forehead and he'll push them to the ground. And he's like, "You're cured of arthritis. Here, walk with me." And he'll pick her up and they'll start walking, right? And it seems miraculous. But what actually happened is James Randi, you know what he did? This is the crazy shit ever. He bugs him. He bugs him with to see transceiver. I don't fucking know science.
Yeah.
He bugs him so that he can pick up radio waves, right? And so all Randy hears is Peter is wearing a small microphone, and his wife is sending him the information.
Wow.
And how she's getting this information before the people get into the building. Yeah. They have to sign a form saying, "Oh, I have arthritis, and my name is this. I live here."
Oh.
And that's all she's reading off of.
Yeah.
So he busted him.
Wow. That's
and
amazing.
You know what else is crazy? He was during his peak. He's like, "I'm gonna sell you my healing water, $50."
Healing water, is that like some holy water type of thing?
No, it's just a piece of water in a tube.
Yeah, so it's like holy water, basically.
He's like, $50. Everyone's like, "Damn, gotta get me some of that shit."
That's basically. Do you remember when we learned about the what is it called, Catholic referendum? Did you learn about this?
No.
When like, basically the Catholic Church, they would.
Said fuck you.
Yeah, basically they were douchebags. They would sell, like, "Oh, this is like a sheet of paper that allows you to stay out of purgatory if you buy this."
You know, I think I might have heard about that. Yeah.
Yeah, and like obviously like Martin Luther was like, "Oh, this is not Martin Luther King, but like another Martin Luther."
Oh, cool.
You know, the
legacy, baby.
Like Lutheranism, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was like, "You guys are dicks," and yeah.
I'm gonna. Yeah.
We went really off topic, but continue on. This is good.
I'm gonna go even. Yeah. I'm gonna go
Si,
even. I'm gonna go even more off topic. You want to talk a bit of science?
Sure.
Did I ever tell you about? I think I told you this morning. Did I tell you about string theory?
Yeah, you told me.
That is the craziest shit ever. For anybody that's listening to this, I suggest you go on YouTube and you search up string theory. It's a TED Talk. Brian Greene is in it, and it's a good 20 minutes, I think, but it's well worth your time. It is the most interesting thing ever. And so pretty much what string theory was what they call the theory of everything. They try to find, because that's the holy grail of science, I think, to find the answer to everything, right, in one unified theory. Because from what I can recall, electricity and magnetism, they're actually one force, and if you combine this together, they're the same force. Yeah. And when you combine that, and when they oscillate, so say that on the x, picture XY axis, XYZ, right? So on the x-axis is if the electric field is going like this, and the magnetic field is going like this, and they're oscillating, so they do this. So picture a graph like this, they go like this. They alternate, right?
Yeah.
That's what light is.
Oh.
I'll show you a graph later.
Yeah.
And pretty much that's one of their theories. They finally figured out, oh yeah, that it works, right? That's one theory.
Yeah.
And then the four fundamental forces are the strong nuclear, the weak nuclear, electromagnetism, and gravity. And so far they figured out everything. They try to piece together everything, but they can't put gravity in any of their theories because gravity breaks down. The more you try to study it, the more it breaks down, the more it doesn't make sense for some reason. And one of the examples I got from Cracked was that, gravity controls everything, right? And they said it's the weirdest thing because gravity is so weak and so strong at the same time, right? Mm-hmm. And you're probably thinking how's this possible? And the example they gave is, so picture like a balloon or some hair or something, right? If you drop the hair, gravity takes over. But if you charge the balloon somehow and it'll stick up with the hair, you're overcoming the force of gravity. And it's weird because gravity is like 10 to the 30 10 to the 30th power times stronger than electromagnetism, and they can't figure out what the fuck's going on, right?
Yeah.
But anyways, going back to string theory, the theory says that they because the theory now is that you have an atom, and the atoms have protons, neutrons, and electrons, right? And you go into the nucleus and you have protons, right? Inside the protons you have quarks, and that's where the theory, like quantum theory, pretty much stops, right? But string theory says beyond quarks you have something even smaller, something called like a string that looks like a string essentially, right? And
So they're not theoretical; they're actual strings.
no, it's theoretical. It's all still in theory. They're
okay.
still trying to prove this right now, right?
Okay.
And they say that the theory is that these strings vibrate in such a way that it creates all the matter that we see around us. So if it vibrates this one way, it creates this kind of quark, and all these quarks make a proton. If it vibrates this way, maybe it makes an electron, or like with all these different quarks, it makes an electron. And in these strings is all these strings are in another dimension. It's fucking crazy, right? In another dimension. And you know how Einstein says that there's 3 dimensions of space, 1 dimension of time, right? And what happens is string theory says that there's actually 11 spaces of time. And no, not time, of space. And some of these dimensions are small and so curled up you can't see. And what happens is the strings are inside these small dimensions, right? And these dimensions fold in on themselves and blah 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 and all that kind of stuff. And that's what the theory is essentially, that these strings in these 11 dimensions, in this small curled up dimension, makes everything we see. You know what else? There was another TED Talk about 5 years later talking about the idea of a multiverse.
Oh, in the sense, well, I guess so, because the strings are in a separate dimension, right?
No, it has nothing to do with that.
What?
The idea of a multiverse is based on they tried to figure out
me out today.
the amount of dark energy or dark matter in the universe, right? And because strings vibrate in such a way that this happens, right? The idea of the multiverse comes from different amounts of dark energy or dark matter, and in those different universes, strings vibrate in a different way, which creates different elements, different physical laws, different like it's so fucking crazy, right? And this is the idea of the multiverse, that strings vibrate in different ways to create different universes.
Yeah.
It's fucking nuts, right? I don't know. Search this up for yourselves. String theory, Brian Greene, all that kind of shit. Dude, it's mind-blowing.
Right. I think we've exhausted this conversation.
Yeah, it's probably time we wrap up now.
Yeah, so...
It's been a long time. So,
we're going to be doing this hopefully every Monday.
So it's going to be every Monday. We're going to start maybe around 4:30 Eastern Time, 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We're gonna try and post this on YouTube.
Yeah, post this on YouTube. I'll probably have a link on the Facebook. Whoever's watching this can probably get the link from somewhere else. Whoever's watching, all 2 of you. All right.
All right then. Till next time.
Bye.